Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States, which is 10 a.m. if you're in Australia or 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. Good morning, Hellforge. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good weekend. I will get back to you on Discord. I've just been a bit busy this week, I'm afraid, but it's good to see you. Do remember, if you miss a live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab at the top of my Twitch page. I always upload my streams after the fact and I edit out the countdown at the beginning and all that sort of jazz. So if you do miss a stream, you can catch up that way. Remember to join the Discord server that Hellforge has just popped the link in Twitch chat, the Phil Does 3D Discord. There's a section there, a gallery section where you can show up your work, and I love looking at the stuff you guys are making. I like to show it off on stream as well, but if you don't want me to show it on stream, just tell me in Discord and I won't show it. There's also a tutorials and tips section and a section there for you to link to your ArtStation or your folio or demo reel. So if you want, join the Phil Does 3D Discord server. Just as a reminder, don't post links in my Twitch chat unless you're a sub to my channel, because you'll get timed out either by one of the mods or by Nightbot, but everybody can post links to their stuff on the Discord server. It's the whole reason I set it up. We're going to be working on the House in the Hollow game, which you can wishlist now on Steam. It's a game I'm working on with a game studio. So if you click that link that Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat, you can wishlist the game on Steam. I'm just going to grab a drink. Okay, so we're going to continue working on the elevator that's going to go in the basement for that game, for the building. Hellforge says it's all good. Figured you were good. Yes, no hurry. Good. Had a decent weekend. I hope you're doing well. I am doing well, yes. Although I've been very busy. Tired, Phil. Tired, Phil. Perfect time for coffee, yes. Well, we just had the water, so now some coffee. So, yes, we're going to continue working on the elevator for the house that's in the game. We've modeled it in Max. We UV mapped it in Rism UV. We vertex colored it in Max, and now we're going to be texturing it up in Substance Painter. As usual, if while I'm working you have any questions, please feel free to pop in the chat and ask. If I can help you in any way, I'm happy to try. Don't pretend to know everything, but I'll give it a go. If you just want to pop in and say hello, that's always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, that's completely fine. So, if we jump into Max, this is the elevator we're working on. Smokeberry, it's good to see you, buddy. How are you? Did you have a good weekend? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Yeah, we're continuing now. Let me explain what you see here in the viewport. Now, I know that Euro on the Discord server posted a really interesting link to an Autodesk event that's coming up. I'm just going to copy the link and open up Edge and we'll take a quick look. So if I use 3D Studio Max, but Autodesk also make Maya, and they're having an event talking about the future of their software. And one of the really interesting things that Euro mentioned was they're rejigging the Max framework. I imagine they'll probably do it for Maya as well, to make it more game engine renderer. Well, we're hoping it's going to be more game engine renderer compatible. But they're redoing the viewport for Max using open source graphics frameworks. So things such as the DirectX API, Metal or Vulkan, and it's based on things such as USD, Material X, Hydra, and other open standards. So that's really cool. So what we're hoping is that will mean that what you create in, say, Substance Painter to bring into maybe Unreal or Unity, you can view in the viewport in Max the way it will look in-game. So if that's the sort of direction they're heading, that'll be really cool. But if you do want to check it out, I'll pop the link in Twitch chat. Autodesk event. So you can click that link and check it out yourself. It's the 9th, 10th and 11th of September. Now, the reason I bring that up is because I want to sort of like draw your attention to what's going on here in the viewport. Now, last week we textured up in Substance Painter this the frame for the elevator. And what you see here is basically what we saw in Substance Painter. And the way that I've done that is I'm using the PBR Metal Rough shader, which is new to Max 2021, which is what I'm using. And I've included an Osl Hdr Environment. Now you don't see it because I've turned the environment background off. But if I show it, let me see, where are we? You can see what the environment background is. Now this is the environment background, the panorama you get in Substance Painter. So basically I've taken the HDRI that you use when you use Substance Painter if you leave it at the default, and I've loaded that up using an OSL HDR environment here in Max. And OSL is an open source shader material library. So let me just turn that off. So that's so that while we're working in Substance Painter and bringing the different bits and pieces into Max, we can see what it's going to look like, because I'm saving these out as separate objects as we texture them up in Substance Painter. I'm not bringing it in as one object, simply because when I work with it in Unreal, I need access to, say, the lift so I can move it independently from the other objects. So it's easier for me to bring the lift in as all separate pieces. So the frame, the lift, the base, the main door, and then there are 2 sliding doors in here. But the reason I've done this is so we can see what it's going to look like once it's all put together, to make sure everything blends nicely together, because we won't be able to see it in Substance Painter. And we could if I brought the entire lift in as one piece, but because I have to work with it as separate pieces, it's easier for me to keep it all separate. Smurfery says programming is for masochists. Isn't it what? I am speaking of programming, no, sort of programming. I've been working in the game engine over the weekend, and man, was it causing me issues. I've updated, the studio is updated to 24.25.3, which is the latest version of the Unreal Engine. And there seems to be, as far as what we can tell so far, a bug in the latest Nvidia driver. And we think it's the Nvidia driver and not the Unreal Engine. The 0.3 release anyway. The 4.25.0 release was fine, but the 4.25.3 release, there seems to be an issue with the Nvidia drivers that causes the game to crash. Now, it doesn't crash until you go to exit the game, so it's not like you're playing the game and it crashes while you're playing it. But as soon as you try to exit out of the game, you get a driver. Your graphics card, you know that little message that comes up and says that the error says your graphics card has been disconnected, which is ridiculous because, you know, it's a PCIe slot, doesn't get pulled out. So, but from what I can tell, reading the latest Nvidia driver, which was released yesterday or today, which still has this bug in it because it's actually listed amongst the issues for the driver that you can have a crash. So we think it's the Nvidia driver. We hope it's the Nvidia driver. So that caused all sorts of problems for me over the weekend, trying to work out what the hell was going on. And then Smurfery says, that's how my weekend went, programming for masochists. Yeah, I get it, Smurfery, I do get it. Alford says, I once tried to write some code. Thankfully, I'm in a better place in my life now, and I'm only torturing myself with UV unwrapping it instead. We all love the UV unwrapping, don't we? For sure. So, that's what's going on here. I've set the shader up inside of Max here, and we're using a PBR shader so we can see what our model will look like once all the different bits and pieces are put together. But let's keep going and start texturing up a few more bits and pieces, shall we? I'm just looking through, because now we're working with high poly and low poly here, so I can do a bake out inside of Substance Painter. So we do have the high poly and low poly on that. Good, good. I'm just going to switch all of these other bits and pieces off so we can just concentrate on what's going on. We don't need the mirrors, we don't need the glass, we don't need that. And we don't need that or that. We only need this. Now I only need to texture up one of these doors because I'm going to be duplicating it for the other side. So less textures, less texture memory. It's a good thing. So we're doing the left door. So let me just turn off vertex coloring. We don't need that on now. And let's export the left door into the right folder. So we've got, and I'm breaking up the exports into their own folders as well. That'll make it easier for me when I have to bring it into the Unreal Engine. Everything will be nicely organized and I won't get lost. So I'm going to create a new folder. We're going to call it inner left door. And let's export it as left door LP for low poly. Okay, now we need to export the high poly, so I'm going to show the high poly version, hide the low poly version, and let's export that. And this will be left door HP for high poly. Okay, let's jump into Substance Painter and create a new project and load up the low poly door. Compute tangent space. Let's bake out our maps. Now I'm going to do the initial bake just of the ID map because for some reason Substance Painter tries to use the high poly mesh for the material IDs, and that's just not right. I don't want it to do that. I'm going to switch that to vertex color. Helpwood says, wow, keyboard, good work. Let's bake that out. We're only baking out the ID map, the vertex color map at the moment. Now we're going to bake again. We're going to turn off the ID map and bake all the others out. Oh, actually, no, that's fine. And we're going to load up the high poly mesh. Everything's set correctly. We've turned the ID off because we baked that out already. Let's bake. Okay. I'm getting confused. Just give me a minute here. I've got to work out what it's doing. No, that's okay. That is correct. All right. Hellforge says, do you all straighten out your UV shells or leave them at weird angles? This whole day can basically be summed up with need more coffee. Sometimes I'll straighten them out. It really depends on how I'm going to be texturing it. So, yeah, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Just depends on what material I'm going to be applying to it, whether it's going to be a wood or a metal or if it's going to be a pattern. If it's going to be any sort of repeating pattern, you probably do want to straighten them out. But if it's going to be something like a wood grain or a metallic sort of texture, you probably don't need to. So I generally, yeah, it really does depend. Depends on the material you're going to apply. I mean, it doesn't hurt to straighten it out, but it's much more work to straighten a UV shell out. If you don't need to, don't, but it won't hurt if you do. That's what I'm trying to say. But you know me, guys. I hate the UV mapping, so hate it with a passion. Okay, let's rename our material. I'm going to call it lift door. Again, just so when I bring it into the Unreal Engine, I'm not getting confused. Let's jump into our smart materials, because we did create some smart materials for our lift that we can reuse. What did I call it? Elevator. There we go. Let's have a look at this one. Hellforge says, I've gotten into the habit of straightening stuff out just so it takes up less space. Well, that's not a good reason, yeah. The text tool add-on makes it less of a headache than whatever disaster that's native in Blender. It doesn't, yeah, look, it doesn't hurt to straighten them out. And like I said, you can actually pack better if it's straight. You've got more room to do a pack. Let's remove that blank layer from the bottom. And I'm just going to go through now and make sure that everything here is correct. Okay. I'm just going through to make sure my material, if I've got any material ID colors set, that they're correct and not wrong. Like here, this color selection thing. Let's assign it to the outer edge and let's remove that one. In fact, let's remove both of them. That one. And this one, also a color selection. And this one, no color selection, that's alright. Although there is something somewhere I've missed. Where? Not there. I don't think it's here. This is a problem when you start to get multiple layers going on. Trying to find what the right layer is a bit of a pain. This is my fault. What I should have done when I saved out the smart material is removed all of the color selections from them. But I was lazy. Lazy Phil. It's not there either. Now, where is it? Let me see if I can't track it down by playing with hiding a couple of my layers here. Okay, so this one seems to be in this one, I think. Somewhere here it is. It's somewhere. Although I can't see it. It'd almost be quicker for me to remake the material, you know. I cannot see where it is. Very strange. Oh, here we go. We've got a color selection here. Remove that. In fact, we'll remove the whole color selection thing itself. We've got one here. We've got one here. We've got quite a few of them going on. One here. That's okay. If I can't find it, what I can do, let me just close these up so it's easier for us to go through our layers. Close that one. No, not that one. Okay. What we can do is let's have a look at this other gold one. So what I might do is add a color selection to that group. And then we can look at this one. Helpboard says it's funny how being lazy keeps being the slap that comes back for seconds. I know. Ain't that the truth? You generally, you know, when you say about a smart material to use later on, just waiting for substance here, it's just thinking about it. If you look at the material itself that it saves out, it looks black, like it's dark. That generally tells you that you've got a color selection assigned to it. So what you really should do when you want to save out a smart material is remove any color selections you've placed on the in the shader and reapply them to the new model when you use the material. Helpboard says, I tried to speed through UVs today and I ended up spending longer cleaning up the shoddy unwrap than it would have taken me to do it right from the start. Yep. Now we're going to do a color selection. Actually, substance is really slow. I need to go through again though and check if I've got color selections here, which I do. Remember to save just in case it crashes. Well, that's a good point, but I haven't got far enough just yet. I'll keep going a little bit further, but substance is very sluggish at the moment. It's taken its time. Smurberry says, I'll just tempt fate a little bit more. All right. You're probably right. Let's save. Let's do a save. Just to be on the safe side. And we're calling it lift door. There we go. Because look, it does pay to save. It really does. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything there. All right. Again, I'm just trying to work out. I don't see it anywhere causing an issue, or anywhere that could cause an issue. I'm just wondering why it's not being applied. Why are you being like this? Helpwood says Phil lives on the edge. Fleshling, it's good to see you, Fleshling. How are you? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to work out why my material is not being applied to this material color inside here. I'm using a color selection. I've applied it to the material color, but for some reason, Substance Painter is not showing it. It's showing that one okay. And that sort of leads me to believe they must have another color selection somewhere, perhaps. Check your mask. Yeah. Let's remove this mask. I don't actually think we need the mask there. Oh, there we go. It was a masking problem, Fleshling. You were correct. Yep, so second folder is a black mask. Boom, yep, that's right. Good tip. Now I've just got to try and work out. Just play with that balance here a little bit. I just don't know that I like that material anyway, to be honest with you. I think what we might do is, I'm not going to delete it, but I might just turn it off temporarily and we'll look at reapplying another material. There we go. So I actually don't think I want the frame to be gold. Yeah, I don't really do. I don't think we want that. I thought I saved out a material that was more metallic. Look. I'm just going to save this and open up one of the other files. Where are we? Elevator controller. Let's look at this one because I want to make sure I saved this smart material out correctly. Again, I'm just waiting for Substance Painter to catch up. It is doing something. I can hear my machine revving in the background. Because I want to keep everything consistent for the whole lift, I really should make sure that the materials that I'm using are the same for all the different bits and pieces. So I just want to load up the controller we created for the lift, which is, you know, the elevator controller, the up-down, to make sure that I did save out that smart material correctly. Again, Substance Painter is just being a little slow. It is like the model that I'm loading up. When we created the smart material for it, it is multiple layers, so it does take Substance Painter a little while to get its mind together while it loads it in. There we go. And again, I'm just waiting for Substance to finish here, compiling the shader. So I want to make sure that we saved out that material. So I've just got to make sure I find that material. That's the correct layout. Not that one. Okay, that's the one I'm looking for. So it's the controller, which should be this one here. I did save it out. So that shouldn't be an issue. Maybe we just need to play with it a bit. Let's just reopen the lift door we were working on. And again, let's just wait for Substance Painter to catch up. So yes, speaking of that programming, the problem I was having with we were having with the game engine. So yeah, we believe it's a problem with the latest Nvidia drivers in the Unreal Engine. So if you're working with UE4 and you have the latest Nvidia drivers installed, now I use the Game Studio and we all use the Studio driver. We don't use the Game Ready driver, but it seems to be a problem even in the Studio driver. So. Blessing says, are you using the Studio? Yes, I am. I am using the Studio drivers, but it is listed as an issue by Nvidia themselves in Fortnite. And of course, Fortnite uses the Unreal Engine as well. So I have a feeling it affects the Unreal Engine in general. And basically what happens is the game plays okay, but as soon as you try and exit the game, it crashes your video card. So I'm sure Nvidia will fix it. It'll just take a little while. I'm just going to play with the mask here, see if I can get a look that I like. And it's the border that we're looking at. So I don't want it to be gold. I want it to be more of that rusty metal look. I mean, a little bit of gold is fine, but Hellfoot says, what's the difference between the Studio and the game driver? Blitzling is saying they're more practical for software-intensive graphics, Substance, Unreal, Maya, Blender. Blitzling says games are well for games. Yeah, the Studio driver, Nvidia take a little bit more time testing before they release it because it's meant for content creation, whereas the game ready drivers are really for the latest patches for the new games that are released. Having said that, you can still use the Studio driver for games, because I do. And it's just a little bit more, I don't want to say stable, but it's created for content creators, not so much for gaming. So it probably doesn't have the latest. It's not updated as regularly as the Game Ready driver is. Nvidia release a Game Ready driver at least once a month generally, whereas the Studio driver, they tend to release one every couple of months. So if you play the latest games, you're probably better sticking to the Game Ready driver for the latest, to make sure the performance is the best. But if you're making stuff, then you're probably better with the studio driver because it's a little bit, Nvidia take a bit more time making it. It's a little bit more stable. I didn't want to say stable because that's not really correct, but yeah, it's more targeted, not at gaming, but it's actually content creation. So things as Flessling says, like using Substance Painter or Designer or Maya or Max or Blender or whatever. It's sort of made to make sure that they run properly. And so I always generally use the studio driver. I'm just going to zoom in a bit here so we can get a closer look at what's going on. Healthward says, I rarely play games nowadays and I can't remember the last game I bought on launch. So anything that makes Painter, UE and Blender easier for my old computer to run is worth it in my book. If that's the case, I think you should download the studio driver, use the studio driver. Yeah, that would be my advice. If you're not playing the latest launch games, then use the studio driver. Okay, now I'm just going through and turning these on and off so I can gauge what level I'm working with. What material I'm working with. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, that's okay. I don't mind a little bit of a gold border around the edge. That's fine. Okay, this one I want to make some adjustments to, I think. Hellforge says, can I access studio drivers from GeForce Experience program or do I need to download these separate from the website? If you've already got the Game Ready driver installed, I think the GeForce program will only give you the Game Ready driver update, so you'll probably need to go to the website and download it. I'll pop the link in Twitch chat for you actually, because this is the link that I use to download my drivers from Nvidia. You can certainly get them from just the Nvidia, you go to Nvidia.com or GeForce.com or whatever it is. You can find them that way. But I don't install what they call the DCH driver. I install the standard driver. Now that's just my preference. And the only way really to get the standard driver now is to use this other link, which I'll pop in Twitch chat. So basically this is just for those people that want the standard driver and not the DCH, because that's the DCH one is the one that Nvidia pushed to everyone. But the standard driver I prefer. Let me just find it. Okay, so I use Nvidia's advanced driver search. I'll just open up Edge and show you what it looks like. And I'll pop the link in Twitch chat. So basically, yeah, the advanced driver search, you can choose between the standard driver or the DCH driver. But if you go to the normal Nvidia website to download your drivers, they only give you the DCH version now. That's personal preference. with the DCH driver, you have to download the Nvidia control panel through the Windows Store. Whereas the standard driver, the Nvidia control panel comes as part of the install. So that's one of the reasons I prefer the standard driver. People have had more issues with the DCH driver than the standard driver because of the fact that you do have to download the Nvidia control panel as a separate program from the Windows Store. So yeah, I use your advanced driver search. And let's see what it comes up with. See, that's the new one that was released today. New game ready driver. See, the latest studio driver though was released in July, and they haven't updated that yet. So the latest studio is 451.77. That's the one I have installed. But the actual latest game ready is 452.06. And they probably won't release a studio driver probably until next month. They tend to do it every couple of months. So there you go. But you have to make sure that if you already have the DCH version installed, you don't try and install the standard version over the top of it because it won't install correctly. You can find out what version you have installed by opening the Nvidia control panel. If you go into an option in the control panel, let me see if I can find it for you. So if you right click, go to Nvidia control panel. I think it's under help, system information. It should tell you, see driver type standard. It'll either say driver type standard or driver type DCH. That'll tell you which one you have installed. No problem. And yeah, I prefer the standard driver to the DCH one, simply because I don't have to then worry about downloading the Nvidia control panel as a separate thing from the Microsoft Store. Some people completely remove the Microsoft Store from their computer in Windows 10. I don't, but some people do. So. Now again, I'm just going through this to try and find the correct layer that I want. You must be getting close to it. Okay, that's the base layer there. So it's going to be one of these. You currently have the standard driver installed? Cool, no problem. Then you can just download the studio driver, and I'm just trying to remember if you're going to have an issue trying to downgrade the driver. I don't think you do. So when I do a driver install, there's an option. If you go to the advanced, as you run the executable to install the driver. You go to custom, and then there's an option to perform a clean install. There's like a little checkbox down the bottom. I click that. So basically what that will do is it will completely uninstall your old driver before it tries to install the new one. So particularly if you're coming from a newer driver and you want to say you're on the new game ready driver, but you want to install the studio driver, which is a lower version number, always make sure you perform a clean install. Now, that will wipe out any custom settings you have in the control panel. Fair warning. It'll remove them. You'll have to reset it up again if you've made any customizations in the control panel to any programs or anything. You'll have to redo that, but that's the safest way to go so you don't get driver corruption or anything like that. Always perform a clean install. I always do that every time I update my driver, just to be on the safe side. Okay, I believe it's in here is what I want. Somewhere in here. maybe. Yeah, I just wanted to knock it back a little bit. Some of that gold through the middle. I wanted it to be more of a brass, more of a metallic color, and less of the gold paint through the frame. I don't mind a little bit of gold there, but I just wanted it to be a little bit more subtle. That'll do. Let's close these down. And let's look at the interior now. So I'm going to go to my smart material. And let's look at, this one. I'm just going to do a quick save just to be on the safe side. We're going to mask with color selection just to the interior. I might actually just trying to work out what's going on here. Just through here, I may have to make an adjustment to the model, I think. I also want to make sure that I don't have any inverted normals, because that does not look quite right there to me. So I'm just going to jump back into max. And we'll isolate the door. And I'm going to check my normals. I'm just waiting for Max to stop being a bit sluggish here. It's because Substance is open in the background. And they both try and grab the video card for the viewport. I'm going to just make a selection on my model. Now you see in Max, this looks correct to me. Like there aren't any problems, but I've had this issue before with Substance Painter. Sometimes it tends to invert the normals for some reason, and I don't know why. But what we can do is we can turn off that. Good. We can do a reset on the X-form. Oh no, actually, this is the high poly door. Okay. We don't actually want to work with the high poly door, we want to work with the low poly door. So I'm just going to remove that reset. Man, really? Alright, it's complaining if I try and remove the reset, so that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reopen this file because I don't want an actual reset on the high poly. So just to stop that, we will reopen the file. No, I don't want to save because we didn't make any changes. I was just exporting model parts. So. Helpwood says, yeah, that's probably a good idea since I'm currently using the game one, so I don't want to corrupt the drivers. Yeah, just tick that little box that says, when you go to custom install, tick the box down the bottom that says perform a clean install, and that'll completely uninstall the old driver before it tries to install a new one. It's the safest way to go. So now I'm just going to go back to the left door, the low poly left door, and we'll isolate our door. We'll turn off vertex color because we don't need to see that. Now I want to do a reset on the low poly version. We will collapse our stack. Again, double check the normals look correct. They do. But I'm just going to make sure. I'm going to throw an edit normals down. And I'm going to unify the normal. Collapse my stack. Re-export this again. As the left door low poly. And reload it. Edit my project configuration and reload the low poly door. And we're just going to wait for Substance Painter here again. Now you see that that's correct. It's not cut out like it was before. It's an issue I've found happens between Max and Substance Painter. Why it happens, I do not know. It's just one of the quirks of Substance Painter. What I might do is I might no, it's not too bad. I was going to say I might rebake out the maps again, but it seems to be okay. We're still getting the detailing, so that was really what I was more interested in looking at. Let's do a save now that we've made that fix, and let me have a copy. Hellforge says, thanks man, I fully admit that I don't know a whole lot when it comes to computer stuff in general, so having someone explain it helps a lot. It does. It's one of the reasons I really like watching video tutorials. Polly Rancher, thank you for the follow, Polly Rancher. I do appreciate it, guys, when you follow the channel, so thank you very much, Polly Rancher. Welcome to Phil Does 3D. Yeah, video tutorials, I like them because it helps to actually see someone explain something as opposed to trying to read. I mean, reading stuff is fine and good. You can learn stuff, but I find it easier to learn new things by watching people do it, which is why I really like YouTube. So I like to watch a lot of video tutorial stuff. And yes, thank you, Hellforge. Remember, Polly Rancher, if you want, you can join the Phil Does 3D Discord server as well by clicking that link that Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat. So, gold. Let's also make these bits gold. I'm just trying to sort of work my design out here. Yeah, I don't want all of that gold. I want these little bits to have more of a unique look. Okay, it looks like I added the wrong one there. So let me try to remember. It was a blue one. I'm going to remove that. it was this one I think I wanted to add the color selection to. Again, I've got to wait for substance. There we go. That's what I wanted. Now, let's look at these swirly bits here. Do I want to make I really probably should make the swirly bits the same as here, I think. Helpwood says, you're actually seeing what a person is doing is a lot easier to grasp than just reading about it. Yeah, at least that's what I found. I found it's easier to actually learn stuff if you watch people do it. I pick it up more quickly than trying to read and imagine what's going on. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Again, I'm just waiting for Substance Painter here to recache after I turn things on and off. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start renaming these these levels, these layers, these groups, so it makes it a bit more sense. We're going to call this one Gold Swirls. Just me being lazy, I should always rename. We're going to call this one Brain, which means it's this one. Yeah. So I'm just going to add these swirls to this color selection as well. I'm just wondering whether I should change that. Maybe. Let's see. It's quite easy to do. I'm just going to throw down... let's have a look at this one. No, that's probably not. Maybe. Yeah, what about it? Well, let's group these. We'll group them together. I'm going to do a save, because now that we're getting more layers happening, Substance has more of a chance to crash. So we'll group them. I'm going to mask them to there. Now we're going to use a smart mask. Let's go with let's go with our trusty surface worn. Let's see what that looks like. Again, I'm going to zoom in here so we can see what's going on. Helford says the chances of Substance crashing is low but never zero, same as being knifed by a duck. You guys have watched me stream before and Substance has crashed on me, so it can happen. It has happened. Particularly when you start working with multiple layers, Substance can just... See, basically what happens is the graphics card crashes. Because there's an option that Adobe now recommends you make to the TLD or TDR or some change you make in the registry that affects how long the graphics card waits before it crashes. Or how long Windows waits before it says the graphics card has crashed. I think that's what it is. So you extend that value because it can take the graphics card a little while to compile the shaders in Substance, and the operating system thinks, oh, the graphics card's not responding to me quickly enough, so I'm going to crash. I'm going to, turn the graphics card off and on. And changing this value just tells Windows to wait a little bit longer. I haven't made that change. I probably should, particularly now that we're starting to work with multiple layers, but I like to live dangerously. And yeah, Adobe do recommend you make that change. I just want to bring in a bit of gold on this to make it look like it's been worn off a little bit more. In fact, let's just pull back while I'm doing this so I can get a better overall look at what's going on. We don't want to go too nuts with a lot of different materials on the door. These bits here probably go with the same material we're using here. Let's have a look. It's okay. But let's throw one more smart material down. What do I want to go with here? Let's have a look at... Let's look at this one. Again, I'm going to mask with color selection just to those bars. And, now I've selected the bars, okay. Let's throw, I just don't know that I like, I think I might make that swirly bit there a bit different. Again, let me just find where that is. And it's the green. So I'm just going to remove the green there. And I think maybe if we make this a little bit more of a feature through the middle of the door by making it more of the gold, we could add another material. Could even go with like copper. Let's see what the copper looks like. We haven't used copper, why not? What's this? The chance of the substance crashing is low. That's not true. Substance will crash. At least it does for me. I'm just going to throw this copper down. I'm going to mask with color selection to there. That's good for an underlying material. Let's just do a quick save. It does sound good, Helpwood. And let's look for another material for that swirly bit through the middle. Again, I'm just waiting for substance to catch up to me. There we go. Once it caches them all in memory, it's okay. Just while it's caching it, it slows it down a little bit. No, not that one. No, not that one. No, not that one. Nope. I'll know it when I see it. Maybe that one. Let's have a look at this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to group both of these together. I'm going to mask with color selection again, just to the swirly bits in the middle. I might just play with my mask a little bit. I think what I'll do here too is I'm going to throw another smart mask down. I'll go with we'll try dirt soft edges. We'll see what that gives us.
Take comfort in the life you've made. These memories can't be erased. Grasp onto what you love, and you.
In fact, let's try going with an invert.
Don't change a thing. The toughest choice behind you now. You can do anything. One voice, but you can sing. Don't change a thing. Embrace your fears and find their meaning.
I might just
Time ends the suffering.
pull up on the gold a little bit more. I might just change the color a little bit as well.
Take comfort in the life you
And just take it into a little bit more of an orange.
can be erased.
Just to help it better blend with the gold here. The gold was just looking a bit too yellow. Let's change our mask a little bit as well. I might also, if I can find the right layer, yeah, gold swirls, that's the layer I want. I'm just going to rename this again so that we don't get lost. We'll call this one Middle Swirls. And this one are the steel bars. We'll call it straight bars. And this one we'll call this whirly metal. Inner metal, that'll be better. Okay, so now we're all named and that's all good. What I might do here is, again, I'm just turning it off, waiting for Substance to catch up. What I might do here is we're going to go back into our smart materials. I'm going to do a quick save. And I'm going to add this material before I do that, let me open up that group. I'm going to add this inside of that group. I'm going to mask with color selection to there. I just wanted to add a little bit of the tarnishing to the gold, because if we jump back into max and we look at our model, we have that tarnishing going on here as well on this gold part. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. Yeah, see, we've got this tarnishing happening here, and I wanted to keep it consistent with that. Oh, too far out. Alright. I think we might be good, so I'm going to jump back into Substance Painter. Now that we have added the tarnishing, though, we do need to make sure. I don't think that's in that. No, it's not. Gold swirls. I'm just going to move that down into that group. Now we're going to add a smart mask. And we're just going to blend the two together. Remember to save. I will save once I get this smart mask finished correctly. So I'm just pulling in a little bit of the underlying brighter gold, removing a little bit of that. tarnishing. That should be good. So let's save. Have a drink of coffee, as Elwood says. And let's export the materials here. Like the textures, I should say. Now, I'm going to export them as a 1K texture. 2K is probably more than I need. So we'll go 1K here. Make sure we're putting it in the right folder. I think it's under ironwork. And the inner left door. So let's export that. Save our settings, save our project, and jump back into Max. Now I'm going to select the left and the right door. Go into isolation mode. Again, Max is a little sluggish. There we go. And let's create a new shader. We want a PBR metal row. We want to load up our bitmap we just exported. So we want the color, the metallic, the normal, and the row. Let's plug those in. And let's assign them. I should be able to assign the same texture to both doors because they're just mirrors of each other.
Sometimes you gotta leave the past behind just to find out where you're going. They try to tell you should take your time, but inside your heart you know it. Don't try to stay.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta leave the past behind just to find out where you're going.
Again, Max is just being a bit sluggish on me because of our substance being open in the background. That should be good for what we want. Okay, let's move on to another asset. Let's go out of isolation. Let's do a quick save. In fact, I'm going to save as a new revision number. So we'll go from 18 to 19. And have a copy. And I guess we'll work on the main door next here at the front. So we want the low poly version.
I wanna know what the future holds for me, and I've been praying and hoping. I wanna see what this
Well,
life
what I'm going to do here is just so Max isn't quite so sluggish. I'm going to make sure we saved our file here.
meant to be.
And there we go. I'll be back with you in 2 seconds. We're going to create. We're going to close that down. Okay. Back into Max. Thanks, Selforge. So now we're going to export the actual door. The whole elevator? Cool. It should, once we start animating it, once it's animated in the engine and stuff, actually once I place it in the room and we start playing with shadows and lighting, it should help to lift it up to make it look more interesting. It should look pretty cool. Again, I haven't really completely figured out in my head the design for the room it's going in yet, but we'll see what we come up with. So this is the elevated door. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to isolation mode here. I just want to reset the X-form on it, just to be on the safe side. Because you never know. With Substance Painter and Max, you just never know. So let's just throw a reset on the X-form. Collapse the stack. And let's export selected into its own folder. And we're calling it main door. And we'll call it main door LP for low poly. Now we will turn on the high poly. Door, that's the one we want. And go back into isolation mode and let's export this as main door HP for high poly. Go figure. Now let's create a new project in Substance Painter. We want the low poly. Okay, let's bake out our ID map first. Oh, I forgot to actually change it from material to vertex. I'm thinking, why is it not doing what I want it to do? That's better. Now we can bake out the high poly. Main door HP. And that's good. We're getting some nice detail happening through the normal map. Okay, now back to our smart materials. Let's do a save. Main door. Again, I'm going to search for my elevator smart materials, and we're going to start with this one. Okay, now we're going to remove the layer at the bottom, which is just empty. Instead of using this smart material, I'm actually going to, because I'll have to go through then and change all of the color selection thingies. So instead of doing that, we're going to jump back into our smart materials, and we're going to do it by hand, because why not? So we're going to start with let's look at this one. Again, we're going to mask with color selection to these blue bits, I think. We are also going to throw down actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to group that, even though it's just one layer. We'll still create a new group, so I can add another color selection. And then I can remove this color selection. Hang on. Why you do this? Oh, the mask. I'm just going to clear that mask out. There we go. Now we can go to the smart masks. And let's go with now let's tried and true surface worn. Yeah. Play with that balance a little bit, just to bring in a little bit more of that tarnishing again. Let's go back to our smart materials and find a really interesting looking gold. This is one that I created for the book that's in the game. Which might look cool, if I can find it. This one. Oh, gone too far. So let's throw that down. And again, let's mask with color selection to this bit in the middle to make it stand out a little bit more. Okay, so that's there, and there. That's fine. I think I want to make the rings and the frame a little bit different. So let's find another smart material. Let's do a quick save. I see how Smurfery that you posted a video in the gallery that I want to check out too before the end of the stream. I'll show, because Smurfery worked on a plant model and he posted some alpha teaser footage which I want to check out. So let's see. No, not that one. Let's have a look at this. I actually created this for some... In the game there is a door which has gears in it. So I created this material for those gears. Let's just see what it looks like here. Might work, might not work. It might work. I'm going to group that layer. Come on, Substance, you can do it. And I'm going to mask with color selection on that group to this green here. And now we can use a smart mask. Try the dirt soft edges one. And we can just pull in a little bit of that other color. Try doing an invert, see if we can get a more interesting look. I'm actually going to find the right layer. Okay, it's this layer here. I might turn off the height, not the height, the rough, not the rough, but maybe the normal. No, middle. No. Which one do I want? No, that's not what I want. Let's try playing with the mask a little bit. Okay, it's the rust value here I want. So I'm just going to pull up on the rust a little bit. That's all well and good, but it all looks a little bit too clean to me, so I'm going to collapse everything down, save it out, and we're going to do just a general dirt layer over everything. Smurpery says it's not really like a trailer or something to watch on stream, it's a dev diary thing that's like an hour long. Oh, okay. Talking about gameplay design choices and the state of development. Okay, but you posted some images, didn't you? Yeah, you've got images here. I can show the images, Smurf. But I won't play the video, the dev talk. Who does the dev talk? I'm just curious. Is it what's their role in the studio? The people doing the dev talk, are they animators, environment artists, level designers? I'm assuming level designers maybe because it's called level design. A Q&A. Duh, Philip. So yeah, I won't check that out, but I do want to show the images you posted. So we have a couple of options for a dirt layer. There is a smart material that comes with Substance Painter called Dirt, which I generally don't use because I don't really like. There's two. There's one called Dirt, one called Dust. I don't really like the look of them. We can play with it and see. So at the very top of our stack, we're going to throw down this dirt layer, which is, again, this is one that comes with Substance itself. I generally, if I use this, I don't use it on a normal mixing. I change the mixing for it. Grizzly Gear. Good to see you, Grizzly Gear. How are you? Smurf says it's programmers, designers and producers. It sounds like it'll be interesting. I will look at it off stream because it does sound interesting, Smurf. Again, if you guys want to check out the video, jump on the Build Us 3D Discord into the gallery. Smurpery posted a link there. It's good to see you though, Grizzly Gear. Smurpery says, well, the lead design guy is also one of the artists. It's a mod, so people wear a lot of hats. Any indie dev is always wearing, any indie developer always wears a lot of hats. Which is nothing wrong with that. You know, necessity. Good experience too if you're doing a lot of different things. I'm just going through this to see if I can't find a blend that I like. Again, I generally don't use this dirt smart material. I generally use go about doing it a different way, which I've shown you guys before. But it does come with Substance, so I thought it might be good for me to show you how you could use it. Because it's not terrible, it's just there are better ways to go about doing it. Okay. So, what have we got here? Let's play with the finish gravity. It's not really doing a lot for me. Let's try the gradient. No, gradient's not doing. This is why I don't like this smart material, this dirt smart material that comes with Substance Painter. It doesn't give you a lot of options. We can make it work though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by changing the mixing value here a little bit. So I'm going to pull it back. Yeah, again, I hate what it does here. It's not going to work. So let's pull back on this one. No, again, that's not going to work either. All right. You want to be difficult? Fine. Okay, you are going to be difficult. I might just do it my way. I really don't like this material. Grizzly Gear says, doing great, just working on a goblin model tonight. How are things going with you? The design looks great. Thanks, Grizzly Gear. Yeah, no, I'm good. I've been busy with the making with the game studio and this game. I was telling the guys earlier in the stream, I spent the weekend trying to track down a problem that we were having with the game crashing. And it turns out, we think, the problem, after spending hours and hours and hours and days trying to work it out, we think the problem is actually the Nvidia drivers. I think there's an issue with the Nvidia driver that's like we can't fix. Nvidia have to fix it. So that was fun. Don't you love trying to track down problems and then have it find out it's not an issue that you've created, it's something to do with the driver. We're pretty sure it's the driver. So we're going to wait for Nvidia to release a new driver, see if that fixes it. And when I say it crashes the game, it doesn't crash the game while you're playing it, but it crashes the game when you try and exit the game. That's when it creates a Windows error saying that the video card has been disconnected or something. I don't know. It's bizarre. Yeah, I don't know if I can... Man, is there a way I can get around this? Not really. In fact, I'm going to remove this. I don't use this for this reason because I really don't like the result it gives you, so I'm going to remove it completely and we're going to go back to doing it the way I normally do it. So back into materials. Let's find... an interesting material. Let me just have a look at this one. This is not one I normally use, but we'll see if we can use it. Let's start by turning off the normal map. Turn the roughness. We'll keep the roughness on. The Space Human, it's good to see you, Space Human, says, Sup Phil, what game are you working on at the moment? I am working on the House in the Hollow game, which you can wishlist now on Steam. So you go to, where are we? You can go to Steam and wishlist it. So I'm basically working on this game. This is the website for the game, but this is the game itself. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on the elevator for this game. And the elevator will go in the basement. So yes. And just to show you what we're working on this elevator. But it's good to see you, Space Human. Grizzly Gear says, right at that time, just to find out you have to wait, but it's good that you're able to find the problem. Yeah, I know. And it's good too that it doesn't cause the game to, like, when you play the game, it's not crashing. It's only crashing when you try and exit the game. It's saying that the graphics card has been removed, that error that other people have complained about in the past, whereby the operating system thinks that the graphics card has been taken out of the computer, and it's a problem to do with the driver. And I know it is because when I go, because Nvidia actually list it with their driver details as being an issue. But they list it for Fortnite. But because Fortnite uses the Unreal Engine and the game we're making uses the Unreal Engine, it affects both of them equally. So let's change our blending mode here. Might also change the scaling. No problem, Grizzly. I'm just going through the blending modes here to see if I can find a blending mode that I like. Maybe this one. I might just... no, we'll throw down a smart mask. We'll see what we can get. The Space Human says, nice, looks great. When's the expected release? Well, it was due to come out at the end of this year, but because the game studio I'm working with is in Melbourne, Victoria, we've just had another outbreak of coronavirus, so we're all back down in lockdown. With curfews at night and stuff. It's going to be delayed till next year, so it won't be coming out this year. It will be sometime next year. Can't be helped, unfortunately. Let's play with our mask. This mask is not giving me the look I want, so I'm going to choose another one. Let's try this Dirt Soft Edges mask. I'm just flipping between the invert to see if I can get a look that I like more. Again, I don't think this mask is not really doing what I want it to do either, so let's find another one. Let's try Dirt Cavities. Triplanar is on. Might just pull up a little on the grunge. Pull up a little on the curvature. I'm going to pull back on the dirt value itself. So basically what this is doing is it's just knocking back the brightness of that gold, making it look a little duller, a little dirtier, not as shiny. But I do want a little bit of shininess, so I'm going to add a paint layer. And let's go with our dirt brush. And I'm just making sure I'm painting with the right colour. Just bringing back a little bit of the really shiny gold here and there. Maybe through here a little bit. I might just paint out a little bit of the dirt through the door. Oh, wrong one. It's just looking a little heavy. And I don't know that our door needs much more. I don't want to get too over the top with it. Let's just do a save here. Let's export our textures. Into the correct folder. No, not that one. Where am I? UE4 Pro, no, that's the right one. Models, ironwork, elevator, and main door. And export. Save. Let's jump into Max. We want to make sure we're selecting hide the high poly version and go to the low poly version. And we'll go into isolation mode. And create a new shader. So PBR metal rough. We want the color. The metallic. The normal. And the roughness. The color. Metal. Normal. And rough. And let's assign the material. Again, this is just so that we can see what it looks like in Max. Let's jump out of isolation mode. And again, I'm doing this just so I can make sure that everything looks like it's blending together correctly. I'm just going to jump back into Substance and Make sure we save our project. I'm just going to close Substance down because it's slowing Max down way too much. Okay, it's better. Max is much better now. Good. Let's do a quick save of Max. And I want to check out the images that Smurpery posted in the Discord server. So again, Smurpery worked on a plant model that he showed us, I think it was last year. That's going in a game or a mod for a game. I'm just going to load these up. Are they all the same? Oh, I got the wrong link. Hang on. This one. And it does look very cool. Smurf created these as well, I believe, from memory. These like tree things. Yeah, this thing here. And it looks very cool. And he also created these plants here. Yeah, it looks great, Smurpery. Looks really good in the game. Two of them, thank you very much. Yes, that's right, you did both of them. That's 100% more plants, how fortunate. They do, they look really good in the game. They come out really well. Did you say that these guys are using the Unreal Engine, Smurpery? I can't remember. I thought you said it was UE4. I could be wrong. I often am. Oh, UDK. Okay, so this is UE3. UDK. So, you know, it looks really cool for UDK. It looks good. It does look good. UDK, which is Unreal Engine 3, is a good engine too. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that the new UE4 has, but it looks really cool for UDK or UE3. Yeah, really cool. Smurpery says they managed to make it look really awesome despite being UE3. They did a really good job actually for UE3. It does, it looks good. They did do a good job. I'm impressed. Very nice. And of course it's helped by Smurpery's beautiful models as well, so it does, it looks really cool. They might do a migration to UE4 once they finish. Well, it's up to them. I would if it was me. Providing it's not too difficult for them to migrate across. Look, it might be a lot of work going from UE3 to UE4. Yeah. I mean, I can understand why they might not want to. It might be a lot of work. Yeah, Unreal Script to Blueprint and C++. Plus they've got to migrate all their assets as well, I would imagine. I don't think you can load up assets from UE3 into UE4. They'd probably have to re-import them and set up their shaders again. Maybe. So it would be a lot of work. But yeah, just going from Unreal Script to Blueprint, that's a lot of work as well. Smurpery says asset migration would probably be the easiest part. It probably would be, but it still would be a pain. So yeah, I can understand. But they've done a great job with UE3. I think it looks amazing. Really nice. Yeah, no, I think it looks great. Very nice work, and like I said, wonderful models. It's the models that make the levels, Smurpery. Their lighting is nice though as well. I do like their lighting. Thank you for letting me show them on stream. Remember, guys and girls, if you do want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, you can do so at any time by typing !Discord in Twitch chat, or by clicking the graphic below my stream in my panels. But I think we might leave it there for today. I do want to thank you for hanging out with me and for watching. You can click the link Hellforge popped into Twitch chat if you want to join the Discord. If you want to wishlist the game that you saw me working on an asset for today, you can do that by clicking either on the link that's just been popped into Twitch chat, or by clicking on the graphic in my panels below my stream. I will be back, of course, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. We'll continue texturing up the rest of this elevator. So we don't have a lot left now. We've got the outer base and then the main elevator itself. So not much left to texture up. And then we're probably going to be moving back into the Unreal Engine to actually start setting up the attic. So we're going to be jumping back from the basement to the attic. We'll see how we go. Either that or I'll work on another asset. I haven't decided completely yet. Depends on how well the engine behaves. But thanks guys for being here, for watching, for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time in the US. You guys take care. See you guys.